Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Easter for those of you who celebrate, and that was a big reason why I actually wanted to stream today. I know that the holidays are great for a lot of people, but for some people, not so great. So I just wanted to take some time out of my day to spend time with those of you who might be having a bit of a difficult holiday season for whatever reason. So for those of you who do not know me, what's up, Peter? My name is Mike. I am not a professional artist. I am somebody who is an aspiring professional artist. Um, and on my streams, I like to do some of the fundamentals of art, gesture drawing, and things of that nature. And I also like to do character designs. Um, I'll end up doing character designs, if not this upcoming week, next week, I'll start back up with that. I've been working a little bit on trying to finish up an illustration of the last character design that we did on the stream. So yeah, for today, it'll probably be a little bit of a shorter stream. I'm just gonna do maybe like between 5 and 10 imaginative gesture drawings. Then we'll kind of wrap up. And of course, any questions or concerns that you have along the way, please feel free to ask. I am more than willing to answer. Alright, so let's get started. Let's just start with one that I know pretty well. Oops. When you're starting to do stuff from imagination, I'm not going to do it on this stream, just because I do want to try to push through. I want to work on my illustration, but one thing that I do recommend is your imagination is really just your memory, right? Like, and your ability to pull together references that you remember. So what I recommend that you do is when you are drawing from imagination, find the references that you're thinking of and do a like a comparison, and make corrections as soon as you possibly can afterwards. That is definitely how you will end up learning and remembering different poses. So yeah, typically when I do my regular gesture drawing days, I'll try to have the references up for you, but the reason why there are no references is, for those of you who are jumping on a little later, it's because I am doing these from imagination today. This leg needs to probably go out a bit more. The reason why I just said that, that this leg needs to go out a bit more, is because the way that the hips are, and this is the stuff that you start to learn as you do a lot of gestures. The hips are like this, which means that this leg here has a shorter distance from here to reach the ground. So in order for this pose to work, the leg needs to be out this way a little bit more. And I noticed that in particular, this was much longer on this leg than this leg, so those are the slight adjustments that I was just making. I haven't talked about this, but this is an important aspect of drawing from imagination and making it look pretty dynamic, which is why I'm erasing the face, actually. You want your main pieces of the body to be facing different directions and on different like planes. So as you can see here, this is going this way. The hips are going down and this way. Now I'm gonna have the face kind of, I'm gonna actually have it face towards us a little bit more. And I could even make it more dynamic if I wanted to, but we'll save that for the next pose. What do I want to do with the arms here? Typically this pose is the one where she's like holding kind of like a sword, but at this point the pose is so much different that I think I'm going to do something. Maybe I'll have her... just have her arms kind of like this. And I'm imagining this this piece of the arm going that way behind her body. Her head's a little small, so I'm gonna ramp that up a little. Pull it down. And that is the first, the first imaginative pose. What I want to do eventually when I do these streams where I do like poses from imagination is I want to start to really add in the anatomy. I want to go back through my anatomy course just so that I can really get that down, so that I can help people maybe learn a little bit of anatomy too. And it'll be great practice for me as well, especially because I'm starting to do like animal and creature design stuff, or I want to start doing it, and understanding human anatomy is definitely going to be helpful for me in doing that stuff as well. This is a pretty, I'm happy with this first imaginative gesture. I like it. Oh, by the way, these are not from imagination. These are, I like to do a warm-up before I do imaginative stuff just to get me grounded. These are from references from either a manga or just a super dynamic pose that I found. Alright, so next, why don't I do something... Yo, Pumpkin Pie! How's it going? Happy Easter. I'm gonna do a pose where the character is kind of like looking back at us a bit. What do I post? You know, I have not been posting my drawings as frequently as I would like, but I do have an art station. If you want to check that out, that's where most of my stuff goes right now. But I need to make an effort to start doing Instagram and taking advantage of all the social media. But I do have an Instagram. I do have ArtStation. That's where I post most of my stuff at. It's going to be ArtStation. Just bored because I'm sitting here while my parents talking to family members, so I'm bored. I hear you. Sometimes the holidays can also be very boring. Alright. I'm gonna have our hips pop out this way, and I'll have our back leg be the anchor here. This leg I will and sometimes poses are going to be like this pose. I don't really have too much of a reference in mind for this one. This one's just me completely trying to just create something that works from imagination. Did I succeed? I don't know. I could probably take this, just pull it forward just a tad, And maybe I can just lean it back this way a little bit to get that effect that I wanted. I kind of want this arm to come towards us a bit. So it's open like that, elbow, and then comes back, and then this one, just gonna kind of have dangle a bit. Now, does this work? I'm not sure, but that's okay, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. I do know that I've noticed this with my drawings recently. My head isn't always where it needs to be, the head and neck. Probably, yeah, pull this. Maybe pull this shoulder up. Nah. I'll keep it the way it was. So I'm gonna have to change a lot if I do it that way. Alright. Was this one super successful? Maybe not. Maybe not as successful as the last one, but that's okay. So I'll move on to the next one now. How do I want to do this one? Ooh, it's been a while since I've drawn this pose. This is a pretty decent pose for what I was talking about over here, like having things be at different angles. So the head in this pose, like the ear is going to be kind of here. So you can see that the head's facing like, well, kind of need it to be maybe a little closer to here. So the head's facing kind of downwards. The chest is facing more up and like towards us a little bit more. And then the hips. Typically what ends up happening with poses is hips and the head end up being semi in the same direction. Not always, but most of the time. And that's a good way if you feel like your pose is way out there and it's like a little bit too much twist and stuff, because our bodies can only twist so much, right? If you feel like your pose is putting off a little bit too much like torque, this is where you would want to figure that out and kind of settle that down, is with the head and the hips in particular. What is her? Actually, I think that for her hips, this character's hips, from what I recall, it's actually, you actually get the back. And this leg's kind of, maybe this needs to be a little bit more away from us. And then when you feel yourself, like I was just a second ago, when you feel yourself getting a little bit lost or a little bit too caught up in trying to make the pose like perfect, just remember the fundamentals of each shape that you're drawing. So for instance, this lower leg, I was having a little bit, lower part of the leg, I was having a little bit of trouble trying to put it in there. So I went back to like the basic shape of just like a slightly distorted cylinder. And I mean, it's not, again, it's not perfect. These aren't going to be perfect. These are from imagination, but doing that helps me help me get something on paper that makes a little bit more sense. Let's do this arm. I don't want to totally block the face here, so maybe I could just Alright, so again here, trying to think about the shape and where it's headed. If I'm remembering correctly, maybe the lower leg goes slightly away from us, or the upper leg I meant, goes slightly away. Probably take this, pull it back a bit. Alright, I'm okay with that. You can kind of tell she's up in the air, doing like a twisted motion. To be honest with you, I think this leg, I can even just have it, or this lower leg I should say, I'll probably just have her tuck it in like that behind her. But yeah, so we got that one in. Let's do, I did this last time, but let's do this like the kicking pose. One thing that helps, that I've at least noticed that helps with selling like more action-based poses is like kind of crouch, like tucking the head kind of down a bit into the, so actually, wait a second. So it's down, but you're gonna make it slightly bigger because it's coming towards us. But when you tuck the head down, for whatever reason, I think it's because like fighters, like you can even see with fighters, like they typically tuck their heads down as they're doing things to protect their head and face from like any oncoming attacks, because that is one of the more vulnerable parts of your body. But I find that that helps quite a bit with the pose and selling the pose a bit more. You can always tell when it's a pose that I'm doing from my memory versus imagination, or versus like me just trying to come up with a pose, because I just like I'm so much quicker at it and I'm just more confident. That's another thing that is super duper important, is just like finding your confidence in these poses and things, just because it isn't easy, and you have to let go of the fact that they're also not going to be perfect. But the more you actually, what do I want to do? I'm gonna put, the more you worry about the perfection of it, the stiffer your pose is gonna be, and the worse it's gonna come out. Something I don't like from this pose is I have two concave lines here. So what I want to do is maybe convex, concave, and that gives it a little bit of a better flow. There it goes. It feels a bit better. I'm gonna even tuck this head. Yo, what's up? I'm gonna even tuck this a little bit more downwards, actually. And what do I want to do with this back arm? What do I want to do with it? Probably have it. I'll pull it up. Yep. Another kick pose. Alright, let me see here. What's the next pose that I would like to do? I wonder if I can do... Let's do just like a more like a standing pose. A back punch. Oh boy, there's a 0%. I would love to try that. I can't do it because I have not. That's not something that I've really done a lot of. I'll try. There's one pose that I can think of from Dr. Stone where Tsukasa did it. And welcome. What was that? Kidocopter? Keto? Sorry. Kidocopter is what I'm gonna say. So let's try see if I can recall this pose from Dr. Stone that Tsukasa had. It's been a really long time since I've drawn it, but it was a little bit of like a back fist pose. What's that? What is that artist's name? Boichi. I love that guy. His art, I love his art. I think it's incredible. So I want this to be, because I recall this pose, him like really being twisted over. So I want this leg to like start around here. But I think it goes forward, yeah. And then this one will go back. I'm not going to worry about the lower legs because I don't even recall, I don't think that was drawn in the reference that I'm thinking of. And I'm gonna cut it off here. It actually wasn't. It's not super hard. The hardest part about this pose that I can recall is just the foreshortening, but I've toned that down quite a bit for I'll see if I can find it actually, but I've toned it down quite a bit from the reference. Alright, I think that his arm, I'm trying to think here. It's like this, so his arm is going to go kind of towards us a bit. And then it'll go up and towards us. And then the fist will be something like this. Let's clean that up. think that the fist is... Just gonna draw like a circle for now. Let's get this in. All right, not sure if this is good. Let me see if I can find this reference so you can kind of see what I was thinking about. Give me 1 second. I said I wasn't going to do this on the stream, but I think this is worth it. Second. Where is this? Oh, that's funny. I remembered it being like more of a back fist, but it's not. It was just like a punch, but his opposite arm was the punch. That's so funny how I just totally misremembered this. But this is the one I was kind of thinking of. He like punches the lions. It's like within one of the first like several chapters, but yeah, this is the pose I was kind of thinking about as I was doing this one. That's funny. Two totally different things. Oh, thank you. So that's something again that's really important with, you know, imaginative work, is that like it's okay that you're misremembering the pose, because as long as it's helping you and like guiding you into the pose that you want, and then you can find like a different reference for it, you're good to go, right? Yeah, a lot of the songs were kind of given to me by Discord members. Like they, not given to me, but they showed them to me, I should say. All right. Carrying something pose. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna take this and turn it into something that you didn't ask for in some ways. Let's see if I can properly do this. All right. That's funny. This is like kind of a mix between the two. This is like a powerlifting pose. Yeah, I think that the lower limbs. This, by the way, is my favorite song on this list. I listened to this, so I've probably listened to this song like 3,000 or 4,000 times. Give me 1 second, because this is really bad form. Is back, or her back, whoever this lifter is, needs to be a little bit more upright. Alright. Might actually have to find a reference for this in a second. Let me give my best attempt, and then this is definitely something that I've never drawn before. I've done this technique dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Let's see here. I want the horizon line to be like here-ish. So this can probably be brought up a bit. Oops. This is not good, but I tried. Alright, so I did a little bit of a mixture between a squatting pose and a carrying something pose. Give me 1 second. I'll show you the technique that I was trying to get in. What is that called? Okay. Let's see if I can find a good reference, because alright, well, I will just pull this image up, because this is the so this is obviously not the exact pose, because I have the person coming up, but this is the pose that I was kind of going for. Obviously not that deep of a squat again. Like, after you do that with this technique, I can't remember what this is called, but after you do it, what is it, the snatch? Is that what it's called? Maybe. But after you do it, you stand up with it, and I have, like, my person is, like, on their way up with the bar. So that's what I was trying to go for with this this pose. Oops. All right, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do a few more. All right, let's go back to some that I actually know how to do. Let's try to think of ones from the past. Let me try this, like, kind of almost a kneeling pose. And this one I do have like a direct reference for. I probably won't show it just because I've been showing a lot of the references of what I'm thinking about. Even after I said I wouldn't. All right. Let's do. I know this lower or upper arm is, I'm pretty sure, going away, and then this is coming towards. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I could erase away some of the stuff in here just so you can understand what's happening. All right, on to the next one. Let's do. I'm trying to like limit doing the same kinds of poses every time. Let's try. Um, yes, I wasn't going for this exact pose at first, but it kind of turned into this. So, um, like a person kind of like jumping, like you can just kind of see like the fire in the background. Oh, that's funny. We can clean this up a bit. And probably that up just slightly. All right, all right, so I'm gonna do like a variation on this pose. I'm gonna have the character kind of like looking away, and I'm gonna apply like more twists in the pose, just so you can kind of see what I mean by the dynamism if you start to do the twisting. Let's do it this way just to keep it consistent. Let me see something. Again, so have to think about so if the hips are like this, then that means, you know, this leg over here is probably going to be the anchor leg. When I say anchor leg, I mean the leg that's bearing the weight. So I have to think about that as I go through here. And maybe this one I'll just have also facing the same direction. This will be my last pose. All right, so here and here. So with her body contorting like this, I'm just gonna have one arm here. This arm can back in space, and like that. Let me think here. This is the anchor leg. It's probably going to, so the gravity is right here. Trying to think. I guess I could just have the legs kind of spread. This is a little long, I think. Spread them a bit like this. It's looking real wonky. Follow this line. I know, it's crazy. All right. I need to do this. And that means that. Sorry, give me 1 second. I just want to fix the. Legs just a tad. So now I need to figure out maybe this leg over here can go a little bit straighter. Sorry, I'm like looking at like the hips are tilted a lot here. So that means that the like one of the legs is going to. Here, I could probably just do it this way. Oh, you know what? I could just bend one of them, right? I could put this one here like I was planning. This one here, and then maybe bend it. Let's see here. So this is, for me, this is like the hardest part sometimes, is figuring out like where legs can go. I guess I could also just do it like this. She kind of looks like she's creeping a bit. And yeah, this probably is going to work the best. Maybe a little bit. No, I'm just gonna cut it off here. because my wife just called, so I gotta call her back, which is why I want to end the stream. But yeah, the legs are so important because it's what grounds your character. And sometimes it, for me at least, it's where I still struggle with when I'm doing characters from imagination. Is making sure that they look grounded. This is way too tilted, by the way. This probably needs to be closer to there. That's better. But yeah, how many did we end up doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was 8. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I can't end on 9 though. Let's do one really quick one. Perfect. This one will take me like 2 minutes. Alright. So we'll be able to end there. Pretty good. No, I'm gonna finish up here. I just wanted to get 10 in. Having like 9 was weird. But I feel like 10 is fine. And actually this pose ended up being pretty cool. I like the way that this one looks. I can even probably... can make her look even more sketchy by like... I'll keep it the way it was. Alright, so this was today's work. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. It was really great to talk with you all. Hopefully if you're having a crappy Easter and you just happen to stumble upon this video later on, hopefully this helps you out a little bit. I know, like I said in the very beginning, I know that that sometimes holidays are difficult for people for various reasons. Not being able to see family, losing a loved one, things like that. So hopefully this was a good stream for you to just be able to not think about those things and just try to enjoy your day. But yep, I appreciate all of y'all for jumping on a holiday, if you celebrate, of course. And then yeah, I'll be back this week with another video, a couple of streams, probably one during the week, one on the weekend. And yeah, make sure you take care of yourselves, love yourselves, be gentle with yourselves as you're learning how to do art, if that's something that you're trying to do. And yeah, and we'll see you in the next one. Love all of you. Thank you so much. I always do this to myself. Yep, you too, Peter. Where is my mouse? Okay. Over here. Bye.